Angelique.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. What's going on?
My husband and I just recently got married, and then we filed our documents.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, I had left my daughter back in my country with my niece. So I was wondering, should I wait until I get my green card, or can I petition for them now?
How old is how old is your daughter?
My daughter is 8 and my niece is 9.
Well, you can't petition for a niece, but you can petition for your daughter.
Okay.
Where are these children?
They're in Africa.
Okay, now your niece, where's her biological parents?
Yeah, they're with my sister, who is also her biological mom. But they've never been separated from birth.
That doesn't matter. So you can file for your child, your husband can file for your child, but even though they have a close bond, the biological relationship, there's no filing for niece, and you can't argue, well, they have a close bond, so we want her to come too.
So my husband is one that has to file?
Your husband would file as a stepfather just for your child.
What if my husband decides to adopt the both of them?
Your husband wouldn't have to adopt any of them, because your husband would file as a stepfather for your biological child. No adoptions required. If your husband is going to go to Africa and adopt a niece, he'll never get the child here, because the husband has to prove that he lived in the same home as the niece for 2 years, which never happened.
Yes.
Now, you conceivably lived in the same house with this niece for 2 years, correct?
Yeah, for 8 years.
For 8 years. So what you should do right now is start the process of becoming the niece's legal guardian.
Okay.
Because you have to get legal guardianship of the child, and for 2 years, and then adopt the child and prove you've had legal guardianship and you lived in the same house for 2 years. So you have one of 3 for you to file for the child, which is you lived in the same house for 2 years. But you need legal guardianship for 2 years and an adoption before 16. So you should be the one doing it, not your husband, the actual adoption of this niece. As far as, and the reason why your husband doesn't do it, because people say, well, he's the U.S. citizen. Well, he's never lived with the child, so you can't do it as a straight adoption, because you need 2 years living in the same household. He's not going to move back to Africa for 2 years to live with this child. Or you can do it as an orphan petition, but you just finished telling me they live with the biological mother. So, and the mother's taking care of them, and they're not, they don't seem to have any issues there. So the child's not an orphan. So the only way to do it is for you, the woman who lived in the household with the niece for 2 years, to do a guardianship, get legal guardianship of this child. You need legal guardianship for 2 years, living in the same house for 2 years, and an adoption before 16.
Okay. And is it possible for me, to invite them on holidays?
You can, but they'll be turned down.
Why?
Because they're not going to show the ability. They're not going to show any proof that they have that they're going to go back to Africa.
Oh, okay.
All right, hold on 1 second. Thanks for watching. For more Bradshaw Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.